Hello again, fellow beach bum traders. I want to quickly share with you some quick due diligence that we're doing on probably a lesser known, what would be considered a penny stock, $4 right now, TAIT, T-A-I-T, Taitron Components Incorporated. It is an electronics and computer component company based in the U.S., and we can see I'm in the homepage of finviz.com, and as always you can find our affiliate link to Finviz in the description box below. And you can see TAIT popped up in one of our queries as approaching a support level and might be something we want to consider putting on our watch list to consider to buy now as of October 8th. So we wanted to update our due diligence, take a new look, see if anything has changed in TAIT, as we recommend you always do, before making a decision. And we can see it recently broke below this support level and then broke back above. So again, that's what we like to see. Establish support, turn back up, and is that something we want to consider buying right now? So who is TAIT? What do they do? Again, we mentioned their electronics, electronic components, semiconductors, positive, based in the U.S., integrated circuits, okay, optical, electrical, it looks good, engineering, OEMs, etc. Got distributors, U.S., Asia, internationally, okay, have some alliances, etc. They're based in California. They've been around for a while. Okay, so that's who they are. Again, the theme that seems to resonate right now is semiconductors and electrical components, since there are supply chain issues. If we look at their metrics in Finviz, they do make some money. They have positive income, positive sales. That's good. No debt. Boy, that's positive. Again, very low float, relatively unknown. You may never have heard of them before, so that would not be surprising. Again, we can see this is a very low float. We can see from their chart, you know, it may have a tendency to kind of run up. If we just very quickly look at the risk-reward ratios, we can see from the daily chart, if we have the support level around 4, tops around 650 somewhere, so we've got a 250 upside. And if we zoom in a little or zoom out a little bit to the weekly chart, okay, so we can see some downside down to 225, so a little less than $2 downside. Upside 250 up to around 650. So it's not the 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio that we'd like to see, but we could see there's some upside, and we can see that this $4 support level looks to have held in the recent past. So that's not bad. If we zoom out to the monthly chart, see if anything's different. See pretty much the same. This $2 level support looks pretty stable. So again, we've got a $2 downside, 250-ish upside. Not great reward to risk, but there is some upside. So maybe we'll consider it. We can see kind of a doji on the monthly, which is not too bad. Similarly, a doji on the weekly. So again, technical analysis looks okay. The metrics looked okay so far. Let's go down and look at their financial statements very quickly. They are making money, and it's increasing. Revenue's increasing. That's good from an annual basis. Quarterly, pretty flat revenue. And earnings are in flat to increasing, so not bad. See any news, any recent news that would cause us any concerns? Well, growth and return on capital, that's positive. This person, this is in August, that's about to pay a dividend. So they do have a dividend, a 4% dividend. So that's pretty positive, given that we're talking about greater than 2% inflation. If they're paying a 4% dividend, and they announced a quarterly dividend in July, so hey, here's a dividend-paying stock. We're going into higher inflation, so this may be a good dividend-paying stock to consider. So now we'll dive into Seeking Alpha and see what it has to say about TAIT. And Webull will do some further deeper dives into the technical analysis and see if TAIT is something we want to watch and potentially buy right now. Okay, so now let's look at TAIT, Taitron Components Incorporated, and Seeking Alpha. And as always, you can put a symbol in the search box at Seeking Alpha and either hit enter to select it or select it, and it will bring up the details in Seeking Alpha. And I'll put a link in the description box below to Seeking Alpha for your quick reference. So let's take a quick look at what Seeking Alpha has for TAIT. We'll do a quick scan of the analysis and the news. We can see this news is a little bit old, from 2020, and it looks kind of mixed. The news, we can see the dividend that we found in FinViz. We can see it's been paying a dividend. Looks like it's a pretty stable dividend, 4 cents a share for a while, and nothing else really stands out there. We can look at their quarterly revenue. Seems pretty flat, but positive. Valuation, etc., all kind of positive. We can see their dividend growth history is increasing. So again, that's a very positive sign. It's a dividend-paying stock. The dividend's increasing. Very positive. Their ownership, this is interesting because they have a high insider ownership, which is again positive. Insiders have a tendency not to sell, and they're almost 50% owned by insiders. So again, that's very positive. Very unlikely that you're going to see a dump. Also, the Altman Z-score is extremely positive, so that's really good. That means they're very solvent. They have a relatively low but positive beta, which means it's going to move with the market, but it's going to move almost half as quickly as the market index moves. So it's not going to move a whole lot real quickly. See very low short interest. So not a lot of people shorting this stock. This is not one that's going to squeeze. Again, you also have insiders. They're not going to sell. So this is not a short squeeze type stock, even though it's extremely low float. We can see the earnings positive, cash flow is positive. So everything looks good. So from a fundamental analysis, everything looks positive for TAIT. So let's do a little bit further technical analysis in Webull and see if this is one we want to consider to buy right now. Okay, now I'm on the Stocks tab in the browser version of Webull. And as always, you can use our affiliate link below to get 2 or more free stocks with Webull. And let's look at what Webull has for TAIT. As always, you can enter a symbol in the search bar in Webull and it will bring it up. You can select it and it will bring up the details of TAIT in the stock screen. I'm looking at a 1-month chart, and we can see in the 1-month chart that TAIT has dipped down below and then reclaimed some support levels, and recently is approaching this about $4 pivot point, which is again what we like to see. It's bounced off a support level, it's turning back up. As long as it holds that trend, that's positive. Looks like it's hovering around the VWAP, potentially breaking above the VWAP. which again is all things that we like to see. We can also see a slight increase in volume recently. So again, all positive from a longer term view. If we zoom into the 5-day, again, we can see it recently broke above its support and resistance levels. It's oscillated across the VWAP. We can also see it's very choppy. It's a low float stock, so it tends to chop around. So again, there's opportunities to buy low, and it's going to chop. So you want to have wider stops, so you don't get stopped out because of the choppiness. So let's look at some of the company details. Again, in Webull, another nice feature of Webull in the stock screen is the additional details at the bottom. We can bring this panel up. We can look at some of the financials if they're available. Let's see if we can get annuals. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's much financial information in Webull. Let's look at the analysis. Again, it doesn't have any coverage, so again, this is a pretty unknown stock. Not a lot of coverage. We'll see if we can get any news. Again, what we saw in FinViz, return on capital, dividends, etc. So there's not a whole lot of additional detail. Again, this is a pretty lesser known stock, which again may be a good opportunity. It's a low float stock. It looks like it's bounced off support, it's breaking up. It looks good. The risk to reward or reward to risk ratio is not as high as we would like to see, but again, it does pay a 4% dividend. So it looks like something that's worth considering. We'll put it on the watch list. If this uptrend continues, we might buy a small amount. It's kind of speculative, but it's worth taking some profits. Again, it'd be worth taking profit at that 650-ish level, and if it starts to break down below 4 much, you might want to consider selling, buying, and lower, because the next support level is down in the $2 range. So I think TAIT's good to consider. Again, low float, speculative, a lot of insider ownership. That's positive. It's semiconductor computer industry. That's positive right now, given the shortages, and we'll see what happens. So we hope this all helps. Let us know what you think of this due diligence on TAIT in the description box or in the comments below, and let us know of other symbols that you might be interested in having us do similar due diligence on, and we'll see what we can do. We hope you like this video. Smash the like button. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel and share this with your fellow traders. And good luck and have a great trading day. Bye. So since I'm actively watching TAIT today, I thought I'd show you how we use the level 2 in Webull to further assess when and where at what price to buy a particular stock. I'm on the trade tab in the browser version of Webull. Again, you can find our affiliate link to get 2 or more free stocks for Webull in the description box below, and I'm looking at TAIT, Taitron Components, and we can see on the left here's the bids stacked in the level 2. On the right, here's the asks stacked on the level 2. An important thing to note is this is only the level 2 quotes for NASDAQ, and there is a small additional fee to get the subscription to the level 2 to NASDAQ. I think it's like $2 a month to get the level 2 subscription. And again, this is only the NASDAQ quote, so we typically also reference either Thinkorswim or BATS or somewhere else to make a final determination in terms of where are the large buys or sell. But this is a good example where we can see, okay, our kind of tentative price target for TAIT is about $4, but we can see, okay, the big buyer is sitting at $3.87, and you can see kind of a very flat graph with the big bids at $3.50, big sells. We can see there's a big seller at $4.10. So again, if we're kind of waiting for it to get down to this 388 type level. If we look in the detailed graph, we can also see that 388 is the support level. So again, this kind of helps determine, okay, at what price exactly today might we be interested in buying, and that would be probably, given just the information we see, at about 388. You want to put your buy above the big block so you get filled before it blocks and bounces off of that large buy. So hope that also all helps. Good luck. Have a great trading day.